Good afternoon, everybody. It's me, Jessica, your health fitness program manager from McLean, and I'm going to guide you through today's Express Mind Body Connection. Recommend just having a block or two or a strap nearby just in case you find yourself feeling a little bit stiff or challenged today. We're going to get started in just about 2 minutes. Do the best with the body that you have. Feel free to make your space smell amazing, change your lighting, do whatever feels right for you. Make sure you're wearing something comfortable so that you can move. And I'm just going to take a minute to mess around with the lighting. Before we get started, so if you're here early, you're always encouraged to just start finding some movement, start doing what feels right for your body today. Getting up out of your chair is such a good start. However, you can also enjoy some delightful seated stretches, just coming to the edge of your chair as best as you can and finding a little bit of length. We're going to do some standing postures today. Challenged by the light. Except Uncle Buck, he's just going to sleep it up. See me. Oh, bye. Bye, Uncle Bob. Come back soon now. Okay? Okay. Great. All right, 1 more minute till we get started. I will be right back. Fred, do you want to talk to the people? Yay, it's 11:15. So let's go ahead and get right into our Express Mind Body class for today. I want you to just find the spot that feels right for you on your mat. Go ahead, bring your feet together, heels, toes touching each other. Really ground through your feet. Take a couple of moments of breath to really notice how much you are grounding. So you're not rolling towards the outside or the insides. Maybe there's a lot of leg love and you can't have your feet completely side by side. Do the best that you can with the body that you have today. You can take a moment and let your toes lift as you press through the balls of the feet. Once you have your legs ground with the floor, come back to your breath. Make sure that it's still nice and relaxed, and let's move that engagement through our body. So as you press through the heels, maybe you even start to feel your calves fire up gently. Take a little bit of a squeeze of your glutes. Notice if you are overarching your back at all, and take a moment to become as straight of a line as you possibly can. So instead of having a little lumbar lordosis, you're going to just tuck your pelvis under a little bit. Hips come forward, shoulders relax down away from your ears, and your chest is gently open, your back is engaged, shoulders are squeezed towards each other. Take that moment to knit your rib cage together so you have a delightfully tight abdominal core. Let's relax here with that abdominal engagement. Find one spot in front of you at eye level to just focus your eyes. Maybe you're focusing your eyes on me, or maybe you're simply staring at a spot, because I'm going to do my best with my words to guide you through your motions such that you don't have to look at me for today's practice. I'm gonna I'll turn towards the camera so you can see what's happening with my body, but I'm still intentionally pressing through the feet, really drawing that lower belly in, keeping shoulders relaxed. All right, let's begin with a couple more big breaths. Turn your hands palms forward, ground through your feet. Once more on your inhale, bring your arms all the way up, but still shoulders released from ears. So length comes from your waist, and on your exhale, arms come back down to your side. Let's go for just a couple more of those. I'm going to step here so I don't cut my head off. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Make sure you're still keeping that rib cage knit. Exhale down. So as those arms come up over your head, real engagement of that core. Find the range of motion that works while you're still keeping everything nice and tight. So maybe you can't reach quite as high. Let's do one more full range of motion. And this next time that our arms come up overhead, we're going to interlace our fingers. Interlace your fingers, release your index fingers, thumbs crossed. So you're making some Charlie's Angels finger guns. All right, so from here, you have your wrists together like glue throughout the entire posture. Take a moment to release your shoulders away from your ears and create some space. Squeeze your glutes so your hips come forward. Bring the weight into your heels so your upper body comes back. On your next big inhale, stretch up to the ceiling from the waist. Find some length and gently move your body right and left several times in each direction. Think about your finger like being a paintbrush, and you're trying to paint the ceiling, and it becomes just a little bit closer each time you come through. You still have that length. You feel that big stretch on your belly. If it feels good, if you want to find a little bit more of a swirl, that's okay. But if you're feeling pretty stiff, just sticking with the side-to-side motion is a great way to start. All right, so back to the center, keeping those arms up overhead, keeping the squeeze of your glutes, hips forward, shoulders relaxed away from your ears. One more time, make sure those wrists are still together like glue. And can you keep your bicep with your ears? Maybe you even have your biceps gently behind your ears so your earlobes are visible. From here, we're going to inhale, stretch up from the waist. And on the exhale, it's going to take a couple of exhales to get to our depth. We're slowly, gently going to reach over to the right side. This might be the entire depth of your stretch, and that's okay. But if you can, I want you to work to move a little bit further. So using your inhale, press through your feet and find your length. And using your exhale, push your hips to the left as you bring your body down to the right. Make sure that you're not collapsing your chest down towards the floor. So you have your left shoulder up, stacked on top of your right shoulder, and your right side of the body is coming a little closer towards the floor, but with some length. So imagine there's a giant Swiss ball by your side, and you're inhaling, lifting yourself up, and exhale, you're finding some roundness over the ball. Bring your right shoulder forward and your left shoulder back. Press through your heels, squeeze your glutes, bring your left hip forward to square your hips and your chest with the wall in front of you. Let's do 2 more times. Use your inhale to find your length, squeeze your hands, palms. Exhale, push. One more time. Inhale, reach with your fingers. Exhale as you push and stretch and push. Keep your hands, palms together. Inhale, lift yourself back up through center. We're going to keep our hands, palms up. A little stress on the shoulders, I know, especially if half moon hands to feet pose is new to you. Squeeze your glutes, push your hips forward, release your shoulders from your ears once more. Take a big inhale, lift up from your waist, and on your exhale, slowly, gently come down to the left. So your legs and your arms, everything is in one line from the side. It helps to think about stretching your fingers a little bit towards the back corner of the room to really stack your body. On this side, we're going to bring our left shoulder forward and our right shoulder back as you bring your right hip forward, finding a huge stretch throughout the right side of the body. If you can't go any lower, that's okay. Squeeze those hands, palms just a little bit tighter. Eliminate light and air between your hands, palms. Biceps are still touching with your ears. Use your inhale to find some length through your fingers. Use your exhale to push through your hips. One more time, big inhale, find that length. Exhale as you come down a little bit deeper and push and stretch and push. Inhale, breathing, come up to the center. We're going to go for a back bend right here. So inhale, look up towards the ceiling. Make sure that there's no strain yet in your back or in your neck. So just looking up with the range of motion that works for you. Squeeze your glutes, push your hips forward, keep the weight in your heels. On your inhale, lift your chest, sternum to the ceiling. And on your exhale, start to bring your arms back so that your biceps touch with your ears. You're still finding that length from your waist. So inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, bring your arms back. If you see it with your eyes, try and touch it with the fingers. But you're finding the movement in your upper back. So keep lifting that chest, reaching with your arms as you push and lean back. More back, way back. Squeeze your glutes. Inhale, lift yourself up. Keep that belly nice and tight. Next is our forward fold. So hinge forward at the hips. Bring your hands down to the floor in front of you. You can bend your knees as much as you need to. And then move one hip and then the other. Keeping your feet on the floor, so just bending one knee and then the other. This is just the first set. We're going to go through this twice. So hopefully the second time you come through, you'll be able to find a larger range of motion. Think of this first set as just diagnostic, seeing what your body can do today. And on the second set, we're going to just try and get a little bit more out of our bodies once we know what we can expect. All right, so next up is hands to feet pose. So your heels and toes are still touching each other. You're going to reach back with your hands to step on your fingertips. If you can't quite reach the floor to step on your fingertips, just reach your hands along the back of your calf and work to wrap your elbows so that eventually in the future, your elbows will be touching each other. You can take as generous bend of your knees as you need to sandwich your belly on your thighs and then start to relax your head down to the floor. Keeping the bend in your knees, I know, is creating a lot of pressure on your fingertips. You can bring a little more weight to the balls of the feet as you begin to stretch your hips up towards the ceiling. You're sandwiching your upper and lower body like a grilled cheese sandwich, so there's no room for lighter air. Rewrap your forearms around your calf muscles. Find some space. Draw your shoulders away from your ears. It's your last chance to try to straighten your legs, engage your thighs, and lock your knees. As we change, bring your biceps back with your ears. Bring your hands, palms back together. Belly tight, press into your heels as you gently lift yourself up. Hands up overhead, stretch up to the ceiling, and exhale, relax your arms down by your side. As they get there, come right into mountain pose, into stillness. Don't mess with your hair, don't mess with your shirt, don't mess with your pants. Be in this moment right now. However your clothing, your costume is, that's fine. Come back to your breath. Work to make your exhale a little bit longer than your inhale. We're going to do the same thing one more time. All right, so opening up the chest just a little bit, turn your hands, palms forward. Take a big inhale and bring your arms up overhead. Do you remember which way you interlaced your fingers and released your index finger last time? If so, go for the opposite grip. Release your shoulders away from your ears, press into your heels, squeeze your glutes. Take a big inhale, lift up from your waist. We're going to come right into it on this side. We're already warmed up. So gently lifting yourself up over your giant Swiss ball on the right side, pushing your hips to the left. Without bending your elbows or your knees, you're creating a tremendous stretch all over the left side of your body from your fingertips to your toes. Keep that stomach sucked in, core contracted. It's okay if you don't go down super deep. Once again, draw your right shoulder forward and your left shoulder back and pull your left hip forward. Extra stretch on the left side. Squeeze your hands, palms together. Eliminate any room for lighter air. Push through your hips. Inhale, find your length. Exhale, find your push. As you push and stretch and push and inhale, take your time, lift yourself up. You remember how far you went down. This is our last time. Take a couple breaths to get there. So squeeze your glutes, push your hips forward. Take a big inhale, lift yourself up. On your exhale, start to come down. It takes me about 4 to 5 breaths to find that depth. Every inhale, finding that length. Every exhale, pushing through the hips. So respecting that it takes your body some time to create this depth. Once you think you're there, straighten everything out. So left shoulder forward, right shoulder back. Press through your heels, push your right hips forward. Glutes are squeezed tight, biceps are right by your ears. Squeeze your hands, palms together. Stretch your fingers to the other side of the room as you push and stretch and push and take your time. Inhale. With control, lift yourself back up. Relax your shoulders from your ears. Press into your heels, squeeze your glutes, hips come forward. On your next inhale, look up towards the ceiling. Stretch your chin up towards the ceiling, draw your belly in again. Get ready for that backward bend, and think about the backward bend is happening in the upper back by the shoulders. So as if I have my hand right by your shoulder blades, and you're gonna be just gently leaning back from there. Inhale, look up, lift your chest, sternum, and exhale, bring your arms back, biceps come towards the ears. They might not get there on the first breath, so inhale, look up, lift up. Exhale, bring your arms back, go back, trace a line with your fingers, keep lifting that chest, finding that lift, and then that lower. Every time you breathe, lift and lower. As you lean back, more back, way back. Inhale, breathing, come up. Stop in the center. Here comes that forward fold, belly tight, hinge forward. Bring your fingertips back down towards the floor. It is our second set of half moon hands to feet pose. Your body's a little bit warmer, so if you want to crouch all the way down towards the floor, maybe press into one ball of the foot and then the other, get a little bit more manipulation through your feet. I like to take a little twist through the knees, find an extra stretch through that back, and even option to just shake your head, be in touch with what your body needs today. And then let's go ahead and come to hands to feet pose. So once again, releasing your heels to the floor, reaching back with your hands to grab hold of your feet, stepping on all 5 fingers of each hand, ideally, with your little baby fingers touching each other. Work to wrap your forearms around your calf muscle. And they might not go today, and they might not go tomorrow, and they might not go next year, but maybe they go in 5 years. You just want to keep trying. Relax your shoulders away from your ears, and as you start to bring more weight into the balls of the feet towards the toes, you lift your hips up towards the ceiling. Sandwich your belly on your thigh, your chest above your knees, and see if you can bring your face to that space below your legs. Maybe your nose is even touching with your calves. Necklace right in my mouth. Release those shoulders away from your ears. It's your last chance to find that big hamstring stretch, a giant stretch in the back as you lock your knees, lock your knees, lock your knees, change. Bring those arms up with your ears. Stretch all the way up towards the ceiling. Exhale, relax your arms down by your side. We're back in mountain pose. Take a couple breaths in your stillness. Find that focus with your eyes forward once more. Don't worry, y'all. Some of you might recognize that half moon hands to feet pose is one of the opening stretches in the Bikram warm-up. We're not moving on to awkward. We are going to get to enjoy a couple of the standing separate leg stretches though, so I hope you're enjoying a little snippet of a Bikram practice. Go ahead, come to the left side of your mat, and once again, hello Uncle Buck, stand with your feet together. Okay, goodbye. Turn your hands, palms forward. Take a big inhale. Bring those arms up overhead. As you step to the right, a big step to the right, at least shoulder width distance apart. Bring your arms down parallel to the floor. Next up, we're going to go for separate leg stretching. So your heels are either invisible behind your toes, or if you're not having any sort of lower nerve issue like sciatica or pain in your piriformis, you can always pigeon toe your feet just a little bit. Draw your belly in. Keep that chin neutral to your chest so eyes are forward. Big inhale, and on your exhale, slowly, gently release yourself down to the floor. You can relax your hands right underneath of your chest and start to shift a little bit more weight into your toes. So you're stacking your hips on top of your heels, as opposed to when you probably first came down, your hips were stretched towards the back of the room. So hips stretch right on top of your heels. If you're feeling a little bit more flexible, you can reach back And once again, grab hold of your feet with your hands. If you can grab hold of the heels, great. If you need to step on the outside, on the outsides of the feet, that's also okay, because you can use your forearms as a brace against your shins to help you relax and release your head down towards the floor. Take the tension and rounding out of your lower back. So use a big exhale, release your shoulders away from your ears. And I like to say to think of yourself as a turtle. You're a turtle, you're stretching your head out of your turtle shell, and you see a delicious piece of lettuce. It is crunchy and juicy, and it's right between your big toes on the floor, and you're stretching for it, you're reaching for it. You're going to grab it with your teeth, and then change. Release your grip of your fingers under your feet, stretch your arms out to the side, and gently lift yourself up. Take a big inhale, step your feet together, relax your arms down. Let's go ahead and get separate leg stretching one more time. I like the postures we're doing today. Bringing your arms up overhead can be a great heart opener. It can be so good for receiving all of the energy and good vibes and just like cleansing breath. And finding these forward folds are some awesome stretches into the hamstrings, which as desk people tend to be pretty tight. So let's go for a second set of separate leg stretching. Hands palms forward, take a big inhale, bring your arms up overhead, palms together, step your right foot out to the right. If it was easy for you to get your head to the floor, you can take a smaller step. And if you found that your head was nowhere near the floor, I want you to heel toe those feet out a little bit wider, because ideally we get our heads to touch the floor on this posture. All right, arms out to the side, bring that rib cage back together so your core is nice and tight, your shoulders are released away from your ears, your back is engaged, your legs are engaged as well as you gently begin to hinge forward. Keeping your chin neutral to your chest. Remember, if it's too much of a stretch for you, it is better to keep your hands underneath of your chest and to take a little bit of a lean forward here so that your hips are stacked on top of your heels as opposed to stretching towards the back of the room. Get a little bit more of a stretch towards those inner thighs as well when you find this slight bit of a forward lean in your stretch, and we're still going to feel it as you reach back and grab hold of your feet. Relax and release that head down towards the floor. Think about the crown of your head coming down towards the mat. Instead of looking towards the wall behind you and tucking your chin to your chest, your chin is still released away from your chest, and maybe if you're lucky, you can touch that forehead down to the floor. Take one more big inhale, and then change. Stretch your arms out to the side, gently lift yourself up. For the full length of your breath, inhale, step your feet together. Exhale, relax your arms down by your side, taking another moment in our mountain. All right, so we'll do one more standing posture. Next up is going to be triangle. We call this one the master posture. So do your best. It's a big melding of the head, the heart, the whole body. Heels, toes, once again touching each other. Take a deep inhale, bring your arms up overhead sideways. And again, we're gonna exhale, step our right foot out to the right. A nice big wide step, maybe even a little bit wider than you had before. Keep your back left foot where it is. Take a big inhale and lift up the toes of the right foot and turn them in the same direction as your extended right hand. Go ahead, bend that right knee, coming into a big runner's lunge. So make sure that knee doesn't go past your toe, but you can help and gently bounce yourself down there. Bounce and bounce and bounce a couple of times. Make sure you're still pressing into the outer edge of that back left foot. Open your shoulders, open your chest, knit that rib cage together. We're gonna move both arms at the same time. So your elbow comes right in front of your knee and you're reaching your fingertips down towards the floor. I'm gonna turn sideways just so you can see me a little bit more. We're creating a lot of triangles with our body. We're creating a triangle here, from the back left leg up through the right thigh down towards the floor. There is a triangle created between the right side of your body, the top of your right thigh, and your right arm reaching down, and you're doing your best to stack those shoulders. Turn your chin up towards that left shoulder. Relax your jaw to line your thumb up with your nose. Release your shoulders away from your ears. Press the outer edge of your right elbow into your knee to turn that right knee out. Drop your left hip forward. On your next inhale, lift up through your left arm and rotate your chest up to the ceiling in a spine twist. Take one more big inhale. And on your exhale, lift yourself back up. Straighten your right leg. Turn your right toes in. Turn your left toes out. Go ahead, bend that left knee. Bounce and bounce and bounce a couple of times. Keep that chest as open as possible. If you found that it was really hard to reach your arm all the way down towards the floor, give you a modification. This time we're going to bring our left forearm to our thigh and stretch the right arm up towards the ceiling. So again, find that big, deep runner's lunge. It's very typical for this back leg hip to pop up as we come on down. Press the outer edge of the foot to the floor. Drop your right hip forward as your left hip goes back. Find that lift of your chest. Oh, there's so much squeezing here. Go ahead, take one more big inhale. Lift yourself up, turn your left foot in. Inhale, step your feet together. One big step, arms come up overhead. Exhale. Relax your arms down by your side. I think we've got time to do one more triangle. So let's go for it. Starting once again on the left side of your mat. We always start on the left and move towards the right. Don't ask me why, I don't know. I do know that for a lot of things we start on the right and move to the left, so this is kind of fun. All right, so once again, finding that grounding through your feet, pull your belly in, find your stillness to begin with. Bring a smile to your face. Take a deep inhale, bring your arms up overhead, palms together. Exhale, step your right foot out to the right. Bring your arms down parallel to the floor. Lift up your right foot, turn your toes in the same direction of your fingers and bend your right knee. Bounce and bounce and bounce a couple times like a motorcycle rider to come into your deep runner's lunge. Think about actually pressing your hips in the direction of that right leg and take your time as you gently move. The slower that you move, the easier it is to keep this back hip from stretching up towards the ceiling and staying down here in your lunge. Remember, you can take a modification of bringing your bent arm to your thigh and then work to stack the shoulders. So really stretch up like you're going to touch the ceiling, just like we did in our warm-up when we were painting with our fingers. Go ahead, bring your left hip down and forward, right knee back, and then open up your chest in a spine twist. Change. Back into our extended wide legs. Go ahead, bring your right foot forward, and then turn your left toes out. Bend that left knee, bounce and bounce and bounce a couple times. Come on into your deep runner's lunge. Make sure that knee is not going past your toes. Pressing into the outer edge of your back foot, opening up your chest. You're squared to the wall in front of you, not towards either of your extended legs. Squeeze your rib cage together, squeeze your shoulder blades together. Take a deep inhale and exhale. Both arms move at the same time. See if you need to lower yourself back down. Wow, this side is so much more challenging for me than the opposite side. Totally normal for one side to be a little tighter than the other. Allow that back knee to go out, your front hip to go forward. Go ahead, stretch up towards the ceiling. Look up at all 5 of your beautiful fingers. Relax your jaw as you work to line your thumb up with your nose. Take a deep inhale, lift up, exhale, twist towards the back and change. Inhale, back up together. Step your feet together. On your inhale, relax your arms down by your side. Take another moment here in your stillness and mountain pose. Great work today. Let's take 2 more breaths right here. Find as much length through the crown of your head as you can. Let's see if I can find so much length I cut more of my head off on the camera. Awesome. Go ahead, shake it out just a little bit. We'll find just a couple stretches in those shoulders because I know that we did do a lot in those shoulders. We found a lot of stretches into those hips as well. Do you feel it? I feel it. I feel it big time. All right, let's go ahead and just cross one arm over the body. You can allow that shoulder to draw forward towards your chin slightly. Make sure you're not pressing directly on the elbow, either above or below. This is a great stretch too if you've just gotten your vaccine, to stretch into this area, because I know that spot's going to be really tight. Inhale, open yourself up nice and wide, reach towards the back of the room, and let's go ahead and get it on the other side. Still continuing to focus on some nice slow breaths. I hope you're so proud of yourself for getting up from your desk today. We really only went for well, one was kind of a sequence, but let's say 3 postures. Go ahead, open your arms out towards the sides and then relax, interlace your fingers behind your back. Squeeze your hands, palms together as much as you can. Press those knuckles down towards the floor. Still making sure you're not finding that overarching of your back. So a gentle squeeze of your glutes and the hips forward. You can tuck your chin to your chest. You can bring the stretch to your neck, gently rolling one ear to the shoulder and then switching. Wow, that feels so good. Let's go ahead and go one more time each side. And then take your time, gently release. Interlace your fingers in front of you. Press those hands, palms forward. Find a little rounding in the upper back. A little similar to some cat action. Go ahead, inhale those arms up overhead. Separate your feet once more. Let's go ahead, bring our hands to our thighs and just drop down into a squat. Drop your right shoulder forward. As you change your breath, drop your left shoulder forward. And then as you change your breath, give yourself a little cat-cow right here. Make sure you get at least one in each direction. And then as you're ready, next time you come into cat, slowly, gently roll yourself up one vertebrae at a time. Let's take a last inhale together. Stretch the arms all the way up overhead. Exhale, step your feet together. Relax your arms down by your side. I hope you feel great. I know that practice really brought a smile to my face. If you have any questions or concerns about anything that we did today or I said, reach out. If you have any personal aches or pains, I'm happy to look towards creating a class just for you. Really excited to get into some yin tomorrow, and keep an eye out for Friday's mental health post, which is all going to be about yoga poses that we can do to bring us some awesome energy in challenging times. Thanks so much for joining me today, everybody. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day.